So I came across this post from Polymarket Hoops here, and it says if we're doing an all-decade first team, the only correct answer is Steph Curry, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic. It says, and I'm fine with everything up until this point, right? This would be the starting five for the most part, unless I'm forgetting somebody. Since 2020, I think that you can make a really good argument that this should be the starting five as far as people that have been perennial first-team All-NBA, MVP candidates, all that stuff. Like if we're doing positions, then I would say that this is the list. But then they say these have been the undisputed best five players from 2020 and onward. No, that is rage bait. That is rage bait. That is for sure rage bait. And look, let me say this first. Jokic deserves the center spot. He won a championship. He won multiple MVPs during his time span. I think 3 MVPs during his time span. He deserves it. He definitely deserves it. But Embiid won an MVP. Embiid was an elite player, or is still an elite player, but was definitely an elite top 3 player during his time. People were talking about, oh, the big men have taken over the league. You have to have an elite big man. People were talking about Anthony Davis, Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid as though they were taking over the league. They ran the league because AD won a championship, even though he wasn't considered in the same conversation as Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. He was still considered a player that's really good, a top 10 player that you can win a championship with. There were 4 bigs in the top 10. This is what we were talking about. We can't scrub this from history. I know people try to, and this is exactly why I want the Sixers to win the championship so bad, is because aside from them being my team, you guys, people just try to erase Embiid from history, man. We cannot pretend as though those years did not happen. We cannot pretend as though he did not win an MVP. We cannot pretend as though he was not considered, by most people's standards, a top 3 to 5 player in the NBA for a 5-year stretch minimum. Well, I'll give you 4. I'll give you 4 years, 4 seasons. 2021, when he was an MVP candidate, 2022, 2023, and 2024. All of those years, people were looking at this man like he was considered a top 3 player for the most part. And now all of a sudden, it's like undisputed, these are the top 5 players of the past decade. That's not true. These are the 5 best based on position, if you want to base it on position. But some of these players did not reach the peaks that Embiid did. They were not considered to be top 3 ever. Tatum was never considered to be top 3. Will never be ever considered to be top 3 ever. So we just acknowledge him. Acknowledge him, and don't say that it's undisputed. It's not undisputed that these are the best 5 players. This is the best starting 5 lineup if you're going to fill each position, but it's not the best 5 as far as players, because Embiid, although Jokic does deserve the center spot, had peaked higher than Tatum and won an MVP, unlike Tatum.